Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process that requires H2O, carbon dioxide, and light energy. In return, oxygen is formed. In this process, they use the Calvin cycle.
Every plant can do this fundamental process, and we can call this photosynthesis.
Chlorophylls and photosystems too will collect and deliver sunlight that is energized to the reaction center. This absorption of energy provided by sunlight energizes the electrons. When photosystem 2 loses its electrons, it is able to pull another electron from water, thus reducing itself again.
When the electron is lost from photosystems 2, it is then picked up by the plastoquinoid, which is also called PQ, which is a liquid-soluble electron carrier. This carrier brings the electron to the cytochrome B6F complex, which uses some of the energy from the electron to pull in a hydrogen molecule, thus creating an electrochemical gradient. Plastocyanid, also known as PC on the photo, then moves the electron from cytochrome B6F complex to photosystems 1, where light energy will re-excite the electron. This is where the two pathways can occur: NADPH formation or cyclin electron transport.
This shows that photosystems 2, the light is absorbed by the antenna chlorophylls and makes its way to the reaction center to charge the electron, and it is then sent to the electron acceptor to use the energy that is used in the electron, and then is donated again to the electron donor to be recharged once again in photosystems 1.
Unlike me and you, plants need CO2, and they make oxygen that stops us turning blue.
This is the Calvin cycle. The Calvin cycle is a three-step process, sometimes four. The Calvin cycle is known as a cycle where carbon dioxide is reduced by NADPH, with using ATP to be synthesized to a carbonate molecule. The first step of the Calvin cycle is called carboxylation of CO2 in ribulose 1,5-biphosphate. This is where it is catalyzed by ribulose biphosphate carboxylase, oxygenase, or ribose. The product of this reaction is a 6-carbon molecule that is immediately broken down into a 2,3-carbon molecule called the 3-phosphoglycerate. Reduction of the 2,3-PGA molecules has two steps. The first step is that ADP is used to phosphorylate the 3-PGA, and the second step involves the NADPH transferring its two high-energy electrons to the compound. There's two high-energy compounds because one CO2 plus RUBP creates two 3-PGA molecules. This stage takes two ADP molecules and two NADPH molecules. The energy transfer forms glycerate 3-phosphate, also known as GAP, which is then reversibly converted to dihydroxytate by the enzyme triose phosphate isomerase. These are intermediate molecules in glycolysis. GAP and DHAP create a pool of 3 carbohydrates, also known as triose phosphates. The final step of the Calvin cycle is regeneration. This is where a portion of triose phosphates and ADP are used to regenerate RUBP. A 5,3-carbon molecule are rearranged into a 3,5-carbon molecule. Therefore, the cycle must occur 3 times to provide 6 3-carbon molecules. 5 of the molecules are used to make RUBP, and 1 is used to synthesize carbohydrates. When oxygen is entered into the Calvin cycle instead of carbon dioxide, photorespiration must occur. RUBP has oxygen added to it by Robesco to create a 5-carbon molecule that is broken down into 3-PGA and 2-PGA. The 2-PGA cannot be used during the Calvin cycle, so it is recycled. Not all the carbons can be returned to the cycle because it is released as carbon dioxide. The rest of the process occurs the same during the Calvin cycle with a reduction of 3-PGA. There is only one 3-PGA created.